Hello, happy Saturday. Boo Radley. Boo Radley is so sweet, isn't he? We're watching, we just started The Bodyguard. It is 7:15. Alex is at the gym, and he's getting ready to come home. And he is not doing anything tonight, and I think I'm actually going to go hang out with my friend Lori after I do a live stream. Okay, I just want to tell you, I do not remember who sent me this candle, but this candle is from White Barn Candle Company, and it's called Champagne and Glitter. It is hands down my favorite candle I have ever had, period, end of story. It is, the whole house smells like it. I lit that candle. And then I lit this candle. You can see it's like, see? And then I had 2 candle waxes going in here. And it is the strongest candle in the entire world. I absolutely love it. So, Champagne and Glitter from the White Barn Candle Company. I'm going to go in there, I think, tomorrow and see if they have like the candle waxes or air freshener or something like that. So, I wanted to show you guys some things. I got a little something in my P.O. box today from Carolyn. She sent me this really, now I talk about deer in my vlog. Well, you guys are watching my vlog all the time and how much deer mean to me. She sent me a very sentimental card. And then she also sent me these stamps. And she said, I hope you could use these remembering your mom. And she sent me these John F. Kennedy stamps. And I love them. And what is so funny is that this is the kind of gift that my mom, like I always talk about how my mom would get me like really like specific detailed gifts that she like picked out specifically. She would get me like stamps like this. Like I have Jackie Kennedy stamps that I've never used. So then, I also have not opened this yet, but I read the letter. It says, I've heard you say that Alex likes fresh laundry kind of scents, and I came across these wax melts, but I hope they fit the bill. And I hope he likes them, is what she said. So I wanted to open them on camera, because I don't usually do that kind of stuff, see? Okay. Connie and I actually were at the Meijer last night, and we, American Home, fragrance, okay, Cozy Corner. They smell so good. Oh my God. They smell like fresh cotton, like just came out of the dryer. So, Carolyn, thank you so much. I'm going to burn those tonight, and he can like those, so. And then, yeah, that was so sweet. I'm so excited about that. Thank you, Carolyn. You've made my dreams come true. And I have day 3, I think, of my diet. Back on my healthy living. And somebody on my vlog said something about, here we go again with all those pre-processed foods and your yo-yo diet and all this kind of stuff. There's like this 1 or 2 people out there that really have issues with how I live my life, which... Okay. So anyway, you know, there are some things I'm very proud of myself for. Like, I have been a vegetarian since August 1st. I haven't been really eating a lot of processed food, period. I just really haven't. I've been eating a lot of fresh food and things like that, especially more recently. So, I mean, I guess I'll either, you know, lose weight and get healthy or be a fatso for the rest of my life, but I mean, really, I guess that's up to me, right? So, anyway, for the person out there that is destined to throw it in my face and I don't ever follow through with what I said, I did vlog every day for the year of 2017, so I'm accomplishing some things in my life, I think. Anyway, I always think it's easier to pass judgment on other people than it is to take a look at our own lives and see what things we need to fix. We all have things that we need to fix in our lives, you know what I mean? Like... So a lot of times when I'm getting into that mode where I'm being very judgmental, not so much on my drama channel, because that's kind of what I do over there, but you know, like where I find myself like picking other people apart or looking or whatever, I have to ask myself, okay, like what areas of my life could I improve on right now? Speaking of which, I want to show you guys, somebody commented and said they were thinking about doing, I think actually they tweeted it out, doing like a daily gratitude tweet of the day, which I love that idea. But here is my gratitude journal. It's actually the Hunt a Killer notebook, but I kept it for that because it's small and it's little and it has like a little thing in it. But here, true story. Gratitude journal, see? January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and there it is. So I just really believe in that stuff. I really believe in the power of gratitude and all that kind of stuff. Okay. What notes can I throw away? Do you guys keep Post-its? I keep Post-its constantly. I'm like addicted to Post-its. Fanny pack, order that. Sperry's, they came in the mail. My Sperry's came in the mail. Did I show those? Kelty backpack. Oh, I don't know about that. Who is calling me? Oh, that's my good friend, Dustin. Hold on a second. Hello? Hi. Well, I called you by accident anyway. I was trying to get a hold of Alex. I'm vlogging right now. You're on my vlog. I'm talking to you on my vlog. They can't hear you. I don't have you on speakerphone, but he said, hey, people. I'm getting ready to throw in some jeans and go and run some errands. So let me call you back here in just a little bit, okay? All right, bye. The exciting life of a YouTuber. So anyway, it's Friday night. Just got paid. Not really. We are going tomorrow night. Our friends have this party every year. It like celebrates every holiday. I think it's called like, I don't know. It like has all of the holidays in it. They're like Christmas and everything in the title of the name. Anyway, so we're supposed to go to that party tomorrow night. We're supposed to wear fake fur. Like, I don't have anything fake fur and I'm not buying anything. And, so that is like, I guess, I don't know, they have this huge like after Christmas party every year. We're going to that. And then Alex is working in the morning. I have nothing to do tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. There's like paper or something under here. Which I'm very excited about, that I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I'll make some videos, read a little bit. And yeah, I think that's about it. So, all right, listen, you guys, I will be back later, and we will, hold on, somebody wants to say hi. Come here, honey. He says what I want is a T-R-E-A-T, but if you want me to say hello to everybody, I will. Hello. Are you having a good day today? Hello. He's feeling really good today. He just had his dinner. It was real good, wasn't it? We're eating food for seniors now, aren't we? He says, I do love that senior food. I'll show you what I got him. They are crazy about this food. It is blue home style recipe for seniors chicken dinner. You like that, don't you? He says, yeah, let me have some more. No, you already had dinner tonight. You don't need any more dinner. Daddy's going to be home in just a little bit. And then you guys are going to watch a movie. And I might be going to the casino with Aunt Lori. He says, okay, I'm ready to be down now. They hate going outside, you guys. They go outside for 10 seconds, they pee, and they are back in the house. Aren't you, bud? He says, yeah, I don't like it so much. I think we'll take these bandanas off tonight. So anyway, my booktube video is almost... I think I'll wait till my booktube video is done, and then I will go and run errands. All right, you guys, I will be back in a little while. Bye. Hello. It is 12:21. You know, like, I feel like just when you think it can't get any colder, it gets colder. It says it's 5 degrees right now, but I swear it feels colder than it was last night. Let's turn my seat heater on. So I'm leaving the house, and my night went a little bit more different than I had planned. I want some gum, and I want a Diet Coke. But I could go to the gas station and get both, and I wouldn't have to go through McDonald's. Maybe I'll just go to the gas station and get this. But anyway, I ended up coming home. Did I record this before I ate or after? I ate my dinner, and Alex was at the gym, and then he came home, and we sat there and talked for a little bit, and he was watching the end of The Crown, which I haven't watched, so I have no idea what's going on. So I was like, I'm gonna lay down. He had like 2 episodes left, and so I was like, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and then I'm gonna probably do a live stream. And he was like, okay. And I woke up at like, so I was waiting for my friend Lori to get off work to see if we were gonna go to the casino or not, which I'm going to the casino, and I think she might already be there. So anyway, she texted me earlier. I couldn't really understand, so anyway. But, so I like got up, and it was like 10 till 11, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do a live stream tonight. My eyes were like hurting. I had like put new contacts in today. I don't know why they were hurting. So anyway, I didn't do a live stream, and I came downstairs, and Alex was like 5 minutes into Mindhunter on Netflix, and I love that Jonathan Groff that was on Looking, on HBO's Looking, and so I sat there and I started watching it, and I got so into it. So I watched like the first episode, the whole first episode. We watched it together and talked about it. It's gonna be kind of like our new show that we watched together, and then then we started watching like 10 minutes of the second episode, and then I was like, I've got to go meet Lori, and I was like online, I was like I bought a new audio mystery. It's like supposedly, it's like called The Woman in the Window, or The Girl in the Window, or something like that. It's supposedly like very Hitchcockian, and it's supposed to be like the best new mystery of 2018, so I'm super excited. Okay, now my temperature says -1. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I have an hour left of They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is so good, you guys. It is hands down one of the best books I've ever read. And it's such a great, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's like a great young adult book, but it's not just about it's not just a young adult book. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's really about death and grief and your own mortality and things like that. It's just so fantastic, and it's so well written, and Adam Silvera is one of my all-time favorite authors. He's just such a cool guy. And oh my god, I found out tonight that the sequel to Dumpling by Julie Murphy, which is called Puddin', is coming out. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to get an arc so bad. So anyway, I'm gonna get on that tomorrow. An arc is an advanced release copy. And then, yeah, that was kind of my night, and we watched that, and then Alex was like, I'm gonna watch this episode, and I was like, okay, I'll watch the episode later before I go to sleep. Sometimes I lay in bed and I watch Netflix. Oh, this camera's going to I watch Netflix to the side, and then I kind of like as I'm falling asleep. So I said, well, you watch this episode, and then I'll watch it, and then we can catch up this weekend. He's like, okay, so. But it's good, I like it. It's kind of, it was a little slow for the first episode, I thought. It reminded me a lot of like True Detective, but not as fast-paced and scary. Do you guys watch True Detective with Woody Harrelson and, well, the first season was Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. The second season was the chick that played Regina George. I cannot ever think of her name. I think she's such a fantastic actress. I love her. And then it was also, oh God, why can't I think of his name? I love him as an actor. I can't think of his name. Vince Vaughn. It was so good. And then, oh my God, I don't even know. Like, I was gonna Google this when I was sitting there because I was thinking of it. I was gonna see when does season 3 come out, but I don't know. So anyway, I'm going in here. I'm gonna get it. Fountain Diet Coke, which I know is bad, but I don't care. And then I'm gonna get some gum, and I will be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. I got my gum. I got my fountain pop. Diet Pepsi. And I'm waiting for my car to warm up a little bit, so I can take my coat off. And then I'm gonna drive up and go see my good Judy. Did she just text me? Somebody just texted me. Oh no. It's my friend Susan, because we're going to her party tomorrow night. Which means I have to get something else to wear. I guess I really wouldn't have to get something else to wear. I could just, you know, could just wear, well, I was with her for New Year's, so I definitely can't wear what I wore to New Year's. This guy in his car next to me is kind of like, he goes in and then he goes out. He goes in and then he goes out. I don't really understand it. He goes in and he goes out of the store. He's kind of freaking me out a little bit. You know those serial killers, because I went to that Baumeister mansion. I'm like always looking for him. I can spot him a mile away. Anyway. Come on, Heat Miser. Life has been so good. I was like thinking about this tonight. I was like, 2018 is going to be this epic year, you know? Like, excuse my hair, but excuse my hair don't. Tracy Turnbull out that is a hair don't. Did you guys ever see Hairspray? See, depending on how I do my... modeling in the car. Okay, it's warm enough. I can take it. So depending on what was I gonna say? I don't know. But anyway, I was like standing in the bathroom. I was brushing my teeth before I left. Excuse me, and I was like, this is going to be such a good year. I can just totally feel it. This is going to be the year. It is going to be the year. And I'm so excited about it. And I was... driver door ajar. Okay. I was telling Alex, I said... Okay, first of all, so I did my most anticipated reads of 2018 on my BookTube channel tonight. And I cannot believe that I left off Julie Murphy's Puddin', which is a sequel to Dumplin', which Julie Murphy is like my all-time favorite author right now, right? Okay, so I was just talking about that a little bit ago. That's coming out. The sequel to Aristotle and Dante Discovered for the Secrets of the Universe is coming out. This book by this J. Coles, this Tyler Martin, I think, is dead or is gone or something like that, is missing. I can't think of the name. I can never remember the name of this book. Anyway, he lives in Indianapolis, okay? So I reached out to him and he's like, yeah, hit me up. We'll go have lunch sometime. I'm like, oh my God, I get to have an author friend, okay? And his book is about like this kid that gets murdered. It's like a racial police brutality thing. It's going to be like already, I'm sure it's going to get made into a movie. It's very much like Angie Thomas's The Hate You Give. You know, like, I'm meeting so many new like YouTubers, and I just feel like creatively, like all of these things I love to do are like, you know, like these opportunities are opening, not necessarily for me to like, you know, it's not like, well, I mean, now I'm going to write a book because he wrote a, you know, with him, or it's going to be of that stature, but it's just nice to have people around you that get you, you know, people that like, I think it's important to have a tribe of people that understand what's passionate to you and what's important to you, like writing books and, you know, like, you know, doing videos and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like I can sit there and I can have these conversations with people and be like, okay, so here's my idea, right? So my idea is that I'm gonna have like a drama guitar or something, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh my God, I love that. Or like, oh, that doesn't really work and stuff like that. And I feel like I miss out on that a lot, you know? And I think the one thing I would say is that I'm gonna single-handedly change YouTube. No, I wish, right? But, I mean, I feel like all these YouTubers that are like, I'm so lonely, I'm so alone, I have social anxiety, I never talk to people, I never see anybody. And then when you see them, it's like, they're in these very contrived situations where they're with like other YouTubers, and they're like in their mid to late 20s, and they act like they're like 15. Like, it's like they have no like sense of how to be in the real world. And it's funny because you can be whoever you want to be behind a camera, but like, to be that same person out in the real world is very difficult for a lot of people, right? And I think like to be able to like get out and meet people and do that. It's like, well, the other thing is I think there's this competition that people don't really like to talk about on YouTube, but I really definitely believe that there is. I mean, I don't believe it, I know that there is, right? So it's like, if you and I are friends and you're putting out a song, your song better not be better than my song, you know? Or if you and I are friends and you're funny and you're, you know, funny haha humor video channel, like, are you funnier than me? Or if we collab, who will like spotlight the other person? It's so stupid, you know? And when you look at comedic geniuses of our times, you know, like Carol Burnett and Gilda Radner and, you know, Roseanne and, you know, Sandra Bernhard and people that I just like, I idolize their humor so much, right? They are people, you know, Monique is a good example of that, I think, you know? I think they so truly understand like that it doesn't really matter what part of the equation you play as long as you're part of the equation, and that every part is just as important. I mean, can you imagine watching Roseanne with no Darlene? I mean, it would have been a completely different show, right? Or can you imagine watching Darlene or watching Roseanne with no DJ or no Becky? I mean, those parts were important, or no Dan Connor. So each person's part is important. Not everybody's going to be Roseanne, and I think that's what a lot of these young kids don't understand. They all want to be Roseanne, okay? Well, this ain't 5th grade, and we're not doing Grease for the school musical, okay? Not all of us are going to get the lead part. And sometimes it's important to know your place and to know your part and do it to the best of your ability that you can. And if you ever watched a movie, it's like, why can't I think of his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman, you know, was such an extraordinary character actor. But a lot of times he would play these roles, you know, that were not like the main role. He was always like this. You remember that movie? I think it was called Doubt with Meryl Streep. He always played like a secondary, or he often played a secondary role. And, you know, what was the movie where he played a drag queen with Robert De Niro? He was fantastic in that movie. Flawless, I think it was called, or something like that. But anyway, when you think of that movie, or you think of movies with Philip Seymour Hoffman in it, I mean, he had such a profound part in those. I mean, I remember him, you know? If you play your part and you play it well, people will remember you. You know, and that's not just about entertainment. That's about in the office, you know, in the classroom, you know? You don't have to be the student that's falling asleep in the back, and you don't have to be the student that's, yeah, it's me, you know, all the time and things like that. You know, you could be the student that participates in the discussion, and the teacher will remember who you are. But I think it's important to participate in the discussion. I really do. And I think it's important to participate in life. And our roles change. And the other thing is that at certain points in our life, you may play center stage. At other points, you may have the lead, and at other parts, you may be in the chorus. And that's okay. You know, you don't always have to be the lead. A lot of us out there aren't going to always be that lead, and a lot of us don't want that and aren't comfortable with it, you know? There was a scene in my book that I wrote about how I enjoyed observing more than I enjoyed participating. Well, not me, but the main character. Or is it me? No, Danny's not me in the book. I am a character in the book. People ask that all the time. They're like, are you Danny? I'm not Danny, but I am a character in the book. I'm more rusty, so that's like the secret to the whole thing. I'm definitely more rusty when it comes to characterization. But anyway, there's a part in there where Danny is like watching all of them dance outside, and like they all want him to participate. And in this moment, he enjoys just observing. And he's like, there are observers and there are participants, and both play an important role, because nobody can be watched if somebody isn't watching. And you know, I think it's a true statement about life, you know, like, even though I wrote it. Hey, Peter, pat your own back. But you know what I mean? Like, I think it is true. I think that, like, we all have our roles, and we don't need to criticize somebody's role, you know? But, like, when I watch these YouTubers and they're like, I'm so sad and lonely and I don't have anybody and people don't understand, man. I'm like, get out of your fucking house, okay? Go to the grocery store, you know? Go take a yoga class. All right, get in a book club, meet some real people. No, they probably don't understand you because you probably make, you know, $20 million a year, and you live in a fabulous house, and you want to whine about how lonely you are. I got a friend like that, and I can't stand to be around her. I don't even know if I'd really call her a friend anymore, to be honest with you. But last time I talked to her, I said, listen, she started that whiny, mopey bullshit with me about her life is so miserable and all this kind of stuff. I said, listen, you have one of the most I've talked about her on here before. This is not a YouTuber. I said, you have one of the most amazing lives of anybody that I have ever known, okay? And yes, you are having some real sadness in your life right now. I get that. But you need to find some gratitude. And I said, and I'm going to be real honest with you. I am trying so hard, but it is hard to be your friend when you lack no gratitude whatsoever. And she looked at me and she goes, hard to be my friend? And I said, yeah. I said, all you ever do is complain. You don't ask me how I'm doing. You know, you never ask me, like, how was your day? How's your week going? Nothing. You should no clue about what has happened to me in the last 2 weeks, you know, because she's so centered on telling me about all the madness that's going on in her life, which is just total BS. And I said, you know, it's hard to be your friend. I said, because it's kind of a one-sided relationship, you know? Well, I didn't know you thought of me that way. Of course she brings it back to her, you know? Hell, I can't even, I'm not even worried about her watching it. Because she'll watch my vlog, she's watching my videos. If I said to her, have you ever watched one of my videos? She's never asked me one thing about my book, you know, like, oh well, it just doesn't matter, you know what I mean? We don't talk that often anyway. Maybe once a month these days, but it makes me sad. Like lost friendships, but I'm a believer that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I am so addicted to this Karmic chapstick. I so am. And I've been telling everybody this week, I've been like, oh my God, this is my favorite. It's Sugar Plum. I'm like, oh my God, Sugar Plum, it's my favorite, because I have 3 tubes of Sugar Plum at home. Everybody gets in my car and they're like, oh, can I use some chapstick? I'm like, oh, here's the Sugar Plum Karmex. It's my favorite. So last night I looked at it, and this is hold on a second. Multi-fruit, what's it called? This one's, I can't even read it. My eyes are so bad. Mixed berry. This is the mixed berry. No, but I believe that, you know, people come in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I truly believe that. And, you know, I think sometimes we want to force that and go, oh, they're a lifetime. They're a lifetime person. No, maybe they're not, you know? And maybe you're not supposed to be in their life for a lifetime either, you know? Like this friend of mine that I'm talking about, I've seen her interact with other people, and she's very different. You know, so I don't know why she feels comfortable being that way around me, or what I've allowed for that to be the condition of our friendship, but it hasn't changed even when I brought it up, you know? Like, we've had some pretty serious conversations where I'm like, I felt very hurt when you weren't there when I needed you kind of conversations, you know? And very apologetic at the time, but like, it really doesn't change. And, I mean, it's not like I'm kicking anybody out of my life, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to hunt you down. You know what I mean? I have enough people in my life that want to be there, that I don't need to chase down people that really don't want to be there, except for to make me feel guilty about the fact that I'm not the friend they thought I was, or something like that. You know, it's always that. Oh, Lord, too much. See, I get so stressed out. That's why I don't even, like, want to call her up and do anything, because I'm just always like, oh. Why go through it? Tanya always asks me when I talk, because Tanya knows her, and when I talk to Tanya about it, she's like, why do you dial up pain? She's like, you know, I just send off some text and be like, hey, I'm real busy. Sorry, hope you're doing well. Tanya gets it. She's so easy with that stuff. Tanya's like, I don't do anything with anybody that I don't want to. And I thought I had gotten that, but then people make me feel guilty, you know? Like, then I start feeling bad. I don't know why. I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? I shouldn't feel bad. I should love and enjoy my life. What is this vlog about tonight? Who knows? Okay, now we're passing the field on the way to Aunt Tanya's. Let's see if there's any deer out here. You guys, there have been some huge deer out here lately. But every time I drive by here to film it, there's never any deer out here. There's no deer. I think they like to come like right after it snows, but I don't really know why they would like to come out here right after it snows. And I wonder where they all sleep. Like, do they sleep in the woods, like, all together? Does anybody know how deer sleep? Like, do they sleep all curled up? Like, what? In the snow? Do they make nests? I think I heard that deer make nests. Is that true? I don't know. I mean, you have to think they get awfully cold outside, right? It is called a nature preserve. I thought it was called a nature reserve. It's called a nature preserve. There's wood. woods and woods and woods, and they all back up to Tanya's kennel. And so then we can sit out there in the summer and we just watch all of the animals. We see all kinds of things back there. Fox, coyote. She's like, Peter, you can spot a coyote like nobody's business. I was like, I know. It's basically my job. Spot fox and coyote. I love it so much. I do. I'm gonna go this way and get a little bit more of this vlog done. Vlogging for my love. So anyway, I was thinking tonight when I was like in the bathroom brushing my teeth, I was thinking this is gonna be such a great year. There's all these books coming out. We already have like 2 trips planned that we're going on. We're going to Florida, and then we're trying to figure out like in the summer our birthday trip. We might go back to Mexico. We don't know. And we're real excited about that. We have a couple other music festivals that we're looking at. You know, things are going really, really good, you know. We don't want for anything. Alex and I are both people that really acknowledge that, you know, like when you're at a point in your life when sure, it would be nice to have a few things, but there's nothing that you want for. It's like, stop in that moment and say thank you, because like, you know, you don't know when you're going to be in a position when you really do need something, you know, and I'm very thankful right now that there's not anything in my world that I need, you know, and so I don't know. Like, we were talking tonight, and I was like, I've saved a lot of money this year. I said, you know, it's been a good year. And I said, I think, like I don't want to blow money. I said, but I think we could splurge and maybe take, like, a trip or 2 more, maybe go out of town for a couple weekends. I said, I would really, really, really like to fly to Seattle. I've never seen Seattle. I want to see Seattle so bad. I said, we're going to go to LA probably once or twice this year. I really want to do, like, the YouTube thing. So if you're a YouTuber out there, I mean, I've had a couple people hit me up that want to do collabs if I'm ever out there. I actually am talking to Dylan and Chris from YO Russ about maybe going out there and visiting their bread and breakfast in Montana. Okay, so, like, this is the thing, though. Like, Alex has no desire to go to Bozeman, Montana, okay? So he's like, you know, he was like, babe, you can go. He was like, you could go for, like, a 3-day weekend that, you know, have fun, whatever. You know, you guys can talk YouTube and do your thing. And I'm like, okay. But, like, it's a couple. You know what I mean? And he's like, you'll have fun. Don't worry about it and whatever. And I'm like, okay. So they're like, well, would Alex want to come out? I'm like, you have no idea, like, Alex's idea of a fun weekend is like a really good brunch and, you know, a nap, sleeping in, maybe some shopping, you know, that, like, maybe a club in the evening, like a loungy club, maybe a dance club, depending, you know. Bozeman, Montana, out in the middle of nowhere is not really his cup of tea. And, you know, like, you have to kind of respect each other's, like, gig a little bit. Like, he would do it for, like, a day or 2, but, like, just like I am not, like, I would do New York City for like a day or 2, but like I'm not a city person. Like I wouldn't love that. I've done New York enough that I know that that's like not a place for me. Like, what's that 4 Acres song, or Green Acres? Green Acres is the place for me. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to live on a farm, but like the hustle and bustle of New York City, like I think you're either made for that or you're not, and I'm not. Now, for a weekend, to stay in some love hotel and like walk all over the city and get coffees and go out to nice dinners and maybe see, you know, some theater or something like that, sure. Like, I think that's great, right? Go to a club, you know, whatever, have fun. But like, I couldn't live the life. And these YouTubers that I watch, or like, you know, movies or documentaries that I see where people live in the city, or even like the Real Housewives of New York, you know, like, it's like that, just fast paced. I think you have to be made for that, and I'm just not made for that, you know? And so, you know, you make considerations for each other when you're in a relationship. And I think that's why, like, as far as Miami, like, that's why we're both so excited about that move. Because, like, Miami has a little bit of both. Like, Miami is, like, even when you're, like, in the action of, like, South Beach, like, you can even be, like, 3 stories up watching it all go down, and it's rather calm. I don't know how to explain it any better than that, but, like, you know, you can walk down the strip and it can be crazy, and then you can go in your hotel or into your apartment and it can be calm. So, and I like that, you know? I mean, I guess New York is probably like that too, right? But to a different degree. I don't know. I like that Miami during the day is very calm, you know, at least like the area that I love, and you know, and I love the Brickell area, and I love, you know, by the bay and all that kind of stuff, but like, I don't know, it's just not crazy busy, and there's something about just being in Florida, for me, period. Man, coming over that bridge and seeing Star Island every year, I just am like in seventh heaven. I love that so much. Well, we always stop at Doji's first, that Venezuelan restaurant. This restaurant right here, I eat a rapist from Doji's. If you ever go to Miami, you have to go to Doji's and have a rapist. They're like so good, and the restaurant is so adorable. So, I don't know, we're real excited about, you know, this year, and I mean, both of us are like, okay, so what are our plans for this year? What are our goals? We both have some, you know, goals together and goals apart. We really want to work on the house this year. We're lazy as shit when it comes to working on the house. I told him last night, I said, listen, I said, when February 1st hits, I said, we're going to go buy a washer and dryer, and he said, okay. Because we're trying to figure out some of our financial stuff right now. We have a lot of like quarterly stuff we have to pay. So we're trying to kind of figure out some stuff right now. And, you know, when you own businesses together, you have to kind of, the business has to come first. So February, we are going to go and buy, I don't know, maybe they'll have like a washer and dryer deal, do you think, for Valentine's Day? I don't even think that we need anything that, you know, fancy. We just need a washer and dryer that works, to be really honest. It's now -2. Green Acres is the place for me. Oh my God, you know what? I watched Little House on the Prairie tonight while I was eating my dinner. It was like the last 5 minutes because it was going into Dr. Phil. I would like got all my stuff done really early today. And so it was like it was like 6 or 7, and I was watching this, and it was like Dr. Phil was starting and Little House on the Prairie was ending, and I was like, this so reminds me of my mom. Like when my mom was alive, that I would like watch this with her, you know, like Little House on the Prairie while we ate. It was a really sad one, though. Green Acres is the place for me. What are your goals for this year? Have you thought about it? Have you thought about like the things you want to achieve this year? Like if you don't think about it, if you don't write it down, like it won't happen. You have to know what things you want to achieve, you know? I had this kid one time when I worked in treatment, and I've done this with a lot of people, but he had his sponsor had him like write down 5 goals that he wanted to achieve in a year, and then he was supposed to keep in his pocket and read it all day long. It was very much about like my dream stuff that I talk about, right, on a regular basis. And like he had been in treatment. I think he was like in treatment at the point of like 8 or 9 months. I think because he was just had 9 months sober by the time that we were talking about this. And he pulled it out, and it was all ragged and stuff. He was. It's funny that I was talking about Green Acres because he was kind of this farm kid. And he was like, you know what's so funny, Peter? And I was like, what? He was like, I've already achieved 3 of my 5 goals on here. And I was like, really? I was like, that is so cool. And he was like, yeah, but I had to believe it. I had to like read it every day, and I had to believe that I could do it. And I had to like, you know, like really think about it on a daily basis. And ever since then, I've always like believed that. The other thing is, and I've shared this on here, I think one other time, is that it's kind of a recovery thing to say you can start your day over whenever you want. And I remember I had this kid, and he was like real young. He was like 13 or 14. And we were walking out of group therapy one day, and this kid had kind of got into it with another kid, and I kind of separated them. And I said, hey, listen, you guys, I said, you can start your day over whenever you want. This does not have to be your attitude for the day, right? With the idea that no matter how, you know, sad or negative you are that day or whatever, pissed off or angry, that like in a moment you can just go, okay, I'm starting my day over. Like, okay, that's not how I'm going to live my life today. You know, I'm going to move on. And I'll never forget, he like turned and he looked at me and he goes, do you really believe that? And I said, do I really believe what? And he goes, that you can start your day over whenever you want. And I go, oh yeah, absolutely. Like not even thinking about it, right? And he goes, okay. He goes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start my day over right now. And I mean to tell you, that kid turned around and had the best day. And I remember sitting there later looking at him at the nurse's station. He was just like, and he was so pissed earlier in group, you know? And I'm looking at him, and he's laughing and chuckling and stuff in the lounge with the other kids. And I just thought to myself, you know, the power of our minds to just switch something like that. You know, we really have so much power. We don't give our minds really the credit it deserves, or they deserve, for just changing things. Like, you know, we can change positive into negative and negative into positive, and those are like, if we want whatever we want to do with that, you know what I mean? So what do we want to turn our what do we want to turn our lives into? It's like I was watching this those Oprah aha moments, and she had Anthony Robbins on there, and it was like the power of belief, the power of thought, and how to change negative thoughts into positive thoughts, and negative ideas into positive ideas. And I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, I know this is true. I believe this is true. I practice it probably 30% of the time, but why don't I practice it 100% of the time, Like, how much different would my life be if I set goals and worked for them like 100% of the time, and turned my negative into my positive 100% of the time, Like, why do I allow it to, between 30 and 40? Well, I'm working on it, But I want that, that level of intensity where I really get my dreams accomplished, and I have this great life, and I'm positive, and all that kind of stuff. I think we all deserve that, all of us. All right, I'm going to cut this off a little early tonight because I have to go up and meet my friend Lori, and I haven't heard from her, so I need to call her. And I think this is about 35 minutes, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and I love you. Bye.